Hi guys, old man Rorschach here again, and I've got a couple of things to say about Mr. Miracle issue number 10 that I don't think a lot of other Comicsgate people will be saying, so hang on for this review, it might be interesting. That's our top front cover, isn't it? Like that. Anyway, let's have a look at the book. I'm not going to be talking about it narratively, speaking. You need to look for other reviews for that. I'm going to talk about the themes of what's going on here. This panel here, Big Barda, scot-free, and the Mr. Miracle to be. That stood out to me at the beginning of the book. So Big Barda first, scot-free is just a pathetic soy boy type in cuts out and in the background, and the Mr. Miracle to be. So I'm thinking at this point of the story already that this Mr. Miracle is portrayed as shorter, weaker, more feminine than Big Barda, a very much cucked version of Mr. Miracle in comparison to the original Mr. Miracle here by Jack Kirby. I'm thinking that this isn't really Mr. Miracle at all, is it? What is he? He's a hipster. He's not a hero. He's quite pathetic, really. He's been portrayed as a pathetic character throughout the entirety of the run, and that continues in this book. Look at the state of this guy. This isn't a hero. I don't think that he's supposed to be a hero. I think that's what Tom King is doing here. Look at him, cowering, pathetic, weak in the shower there, as his wife's doing all the talking, and he's completely silent. And he's wearing all these geeky t-shirts that you get with one of those geek box type deals. Even people like Ethan Van Sciver are getting fed up with. Does anyone still get the geek box thing? Does anyone want to be identified as a geek today? It's not a cool thing to be anymore. It means you're a hipster dick with a silly beard. Who am I talking about? People with silly beards. I know I've got a ridiculous beard myself, but when I see the hipster types with these t-shirts, it does, it make me think twice about having the hair upon the chin. It makes me kind of want to shave it all off, because I never want to get mistaken for a hipster. That's for sure. They're beta male types. They're embarrassing. They're males who have grown up but still want to be kids, And here he's with a Flash t-shirt on, so he's a wimpy comic book geek who no female would find attractive in the real world. And I find this to be a quite telling panel here with Big Barda physically assaulting the original Mr. Miracle there, whilst he does absolutely nothing. Of course he does nothing. That's his character now. That's the character of scot-free. He's not Mr. Miracle, he's scot-free in this book. His woman, he looks like China from the old WWE. He looks like a bodybuilder there with sweatpants on, and she looks, she's more muscular than he is. She's got more testosterone than he has, and she's basically attacking the past there, angry at it, and he's just cowering, completely cucked. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the story. It's just the discussion that he has in the supermarket, because everything's mundane about his life. He's a god, but he's the most mundane of gods you could possibly imagine. He hasn't even got any muscle definition on his arms. Well, maybe a tiny little bit, but not exactly hero status or god status, is it? It's not exactly Superman there. Anyway, so he's asking for advice from a guy working on the checkout till, and he actually gives him some good advice. He's talking about sacrificing yourself for the greater good, or giving up a bit of your own happiness to make other people happy. I don't know what this is. Is this Tom King thinking, what do I need to do with this book? Perhaps I need to turn this scot-free into Mr. Miracle again, and get rid of the guy completely, and give people the original Jack Kirby version of Mr. Miracle, because this guy isn't a hero to inspire anyone. So yeah, if I was you, mate, I'd self-sacrifice as well. If your kid's going to be taking over the mantle of Mr. Miracle, he can't be doing a worse job than you're doing, that's for sure. Check this out then. The original Mr. Miracle, go back and read that book. It's fantastic. It's so light, it's so free, it's so scot-free. It's just a enjoyable comic book with a masculine hero you could aspire to be if you're a kid. He's an escape artist. And look at this Mr. Miracle here. He does some of the old school Mr. Miracle gimmick, in that he's in this big ball here with the swords coming in. And I guess he's trying to escape before the swords go in. He doesn't, and he says, "God damn it." It's failure. He's not Mr. Miracle. He's completely wet, completely incompetent, and when he tries to be that first of Mr. Miracle, he fails. So this Mr. Miracle is not Mr. Miracle. He's scot-free, and his kid will be the true Mr. Miracle, I guess. Now look at the state of Big Barda here. Wow, look at the state. That is China, isn't it? That is WWE China. And she doesn't have any respect for a man, because let's face it, how could she have any respect for a guy like this? And at the end of this, she just throws some insults at him and just picks the kid up from the slide, from the swings, and just walks away from him. No respect for the man whatsoever, because how can a woman like that have respect for a cowering, wimpy, beta male cuck like Scot-free? This is quite an interesting development in the story, in that Funky Flashman is pretty much a stand-in for Stan Lee. This is Jack Kirby taking the mick out of the salesman type aspects of the con man, really, the carnival barker type of personality, which Stan Lee has adopted as a persona. So when you see a Funky Flashman, this is Stan Lee. Check this out. He provides all the imaginations, I do the words. That's exactly what Mr. Lee did. And who did the imaginations then? That's Jacob the baby. And also the real name of Jack Kirby was Jacob Kurtzberg. So they're talking about Jack Kirby here. So Kirby does all the imaginations, and Funky Flashman, Stan Lee type, just does the words. So what is Tom King saying here about his own relationship to Jacob, Jack Kirby? Is he saying that I'm not a patch on the original, I'm just doing words? Is he saying that I'm playing with something that's not mine? I think that's what he's saying, because Stan Lee actually says it here. Funky Flashman says it here. It's not my story, so it's not Stan Lee's story, it's Jacob's story, and Jacob being Jack Kirby. So he's telling them that this isn't your story. Is this Tom King telling us that all this is Jack Kirby's story, and he's just doing some words here? He's just playing around with something that's not his. Is that what he's saying? No, let me know. What do you think? I think that Tom King is looking at what he's done here and saying that this isn't a patch on the original. That my Mr. Miracle is pathetic and weak and beta and soy and cooked. My Big Barda isn't really sexy. She's just a buffed up, overly masculine WWE China type. And this isn't the past. This is, oh God, it's not even the future. It's the cucked out, emasculated male of today, who is a total utter failure, who cannot escape from a gadget there. So he can't do the only thing that Mr. Miracle is supposed to do. Mr. Miracle is supposed to be an escape artist, and if Mr. Miracle can't escape from a trap, and he can't do his escape routine, he's not Mr. Miracle. He's useless. He's wearing a Flash t-shirt, he's got a beard, he's a beta male, total a cuck, and it's his role really in the story to get rid of himself so the next generation, the Jacob, his kid, can take over. And as the story concludes, he's saying, I'm just going to kill my father, and rather than sacrifice my son to him or give my son to him. So I'm not going to give the reader Jacob, I'm not going to give our high father Jack Kirby, the original. I'm just going to kill the patriarchy. I'm just going to kill everything. So is that what Tom King is doing with the character here? Is he saying that I cannot give you the Jack Kirby Mr. Miracle, so I'm just going to kill it all? Hopefully, at the end of the narrative, the Jacob character, the little boy, will survive and will become a new miracle, a new Mr. Miracle, and this scot-free Mr. Miracle will perish in the war, hopefully, and that'll be the end of beta male, cucked out, loser, soy boy, scot-free, and his kid will be the Mr. Miracle that we need, and more in keeping with the original Mr. Miracle from Jack Kirby. There we go, Mr. Miracle there, who will easily be able to escape beginner level traps, beginner level escape routines like this. That's what I think is going to happen as the book progresses. That's what I think Tom King is doing here. He's giving you a beta male cut Mr. Miracle scot-free on purpose, and he's going to get rid of him and replace him with the kid, Jacob, who's a stand-in for Jack Kirby, the original Mr. Miracle. That's what I think. What do you guys reckon? Let me know in the comments down below. This ain't Mr. Miracle, and I'm guessing that he was never supposed to be Mr. Miracle. So cheers, take care, looking forward to your comments. I'll be back as always later.